Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of the DCU. It's so funny, right? Because all of this crap with James Gunn's vision for the oldest brand in comics started but a few months ago with the Superman movie, which was so great, guys. It was going to make over $1 billion. Oh, right. It was definitely going to make over 800 million. Definitely going to cross 700 million. And oh my God, it's such a huge success. It made over $600 million. I mean, it made less than 2013's Man of Steel, not adjusted for inflation, and zero people are talking about it, and so much so that it's already gone free on streaming, well, free for a subscription holder of an HBO account. And within a few days after the 31-day window, because James Gunn really needed to make sure that everybody could have Superman in their hands, it goes to streaming, and it goes from $30 to $10 on a discount in record time. But no, huge success. That's why, the follow-up to Superman, that's the DC product on everybody's lips, right? It's not the continuation of another story, one that was just recently celebrated in recent weeks by being anointed with not one, not two, not three, but 9 Emmy Awards, and that would be Matt Reeves' vision for Batman and the greater Gotham properties, because that was, of course, in reference to the Great Penguin Show from last year. But yes, if we were to just simply look forward the upcoming releases under the DCU banner, I think it's easy to say that the Batman Part 2, it far and away eclipses anything else that could be coming out. It's not even close. So what does Matt Reeves have to say about the film that is supposed to start rolling cameras in the next couple months? I think it's supposed to begin by the end of the year, but let's take a look. Matt Reeves confirms filming timeline and the script progress. Well, what do we have right here? So Batman 2, writer-director Matt Reeves gave reporters an update while at the Emmy Awards on Sunday night. He was there supporting The Penguin, the HBO Max limited series set in his DC Elseworlds, which received 24 nominations and won 9 of them. It was a sequel to his 2022 Batman. That was on everyone's mind. Exactly. Talking to The Hollywood Reporter, Reeves promised the thing that it does for Robert Pattinson's character, for Batman and for Bruce, has never been done before in this way. Until recently, no update on Batman 2 has been terribly encouraging. The movie originally expected to hit theaters October of this year, so any day now. Oh wait, has been delayed twice. First in 2023 because of the WGA strike, and then again in 2024 because the script was incomplete. Rumors surrounding the delays and the film's possible cancellation reached a point where the head of DC Studios, James Gunn, finally had to address them. And he's been begrudgingly acknowledging the existence of this film, because he will talk about every other DC project, every other movie, every other television show that he possibly can. But it's like pulling teeth whenever it comes the Batman Part 2. Interesting, huh? I'll also say the Batman 2 is not canceled. That's the other thing. I hear all the time the Batman Part 2 is canceled. It's not canceled. We don't have a script. Matt is slow. He was talking, and this was in the lead up to Superman, if I recall correctly. Sunday night, Reeves told The Hollywood Reporter, "It's been a journey that is taking longer than I would have wanted for a lot of reasons." It's a lot of personal reasons, but the most important reason is getting it to a place where I just felt like it was going to be the best script we could possibly write. Speaking with Variety, he added, "We'll shoot probably like April, end of April, beginning of May, something like that. Details for the plot to Batman 2 are decidedly not included in the latest update, but Reeves promised that, much like the first movie, it will blend comic book action and mystery." And Colin Farrell's Penguin is going to be a part of it, but we also heard Christina Milioti, who won the Emmy for Best Actress in a limited series. She's not going to be a part of this Batman Part 2, which is like, oh man, come on. He was great. But yes, Reeves talking to The Hollywood Reporter, obviously because of what the first movie was and what this movie is, which is so much of a detective story. The idea of trying to protect the secrets of the movie is super important. He went so far as to send Pattinson the script in a locked pouch that required a code. And given that it's not scheduled for coming to theaters for 2 full years, what is it, the beginning of October 2027? It's going to be a minute, but that's not going to be the only DC project to come out in 2027. Man of Tomorrow, and oh my God, look at that. James Gunn, his second draft. Geez, whatever could that picture mean? Does that mean the Brainiac's going to be in it? Oh my God, that's going to go ahead and make up for all of the character and plotting and world-building shortcomings of Superman. And oh my God, the de facto Superman 2, it's going to have Brainiac. I know who Brainiac is. That means that the movie's going to be great, right? But now you get into the replies and you start to find out that people in general, all of the ones that were apathetic all the way through to praising the genius that was James Gunn's Superman all the way back in July. Oh, now they're starting to turn on the project written by James Gunn. For that reason, I'm out. The stupid Rick and Morty, Zack Snyder, James Gunn thing. No billion. Yeah, not even 600 million. Well, it made a little bit more than 600 million. But you can continue to scroll through this, and in the coming months, I would imagine now that there's going to be a lull after, stupid Peacemaker wraps up, there's going to be a lull in entertainment, and people are going to revise their take on Superman even further. And well, James is going to have to do a lot of damage control because, well, even as Peacemaker's airing right now, like, nobody gives a shit about that project. Holy fuck, there's like 2 or 3 episodes left in that season and nobody's talking about it at all whatsoever. And you hear all of these rumors about Paramount or Netflix, Apple or Amazon getting ready to save Warner Brothers from themselves. And by the time Man of Tomorrow comes out, it might not just be a DC Studios project, it might not just be a Warner Brothers project, it could be a brand new studio putting this out. Who the fuck knows at this point in time? But because James decided to fast track not quite, but ostensibly is a Superman sequel, and then we got a lot more clarifications surrounding the Batman Part 2. It went from being indefinitely delayed to now, oh, look at that, now we have a brand new release date, and oh yeah, here's the filming schedule, and Matt Reeves is very much back in the picture. I'm kind of thinking that DC is probably willing to float James Gunn 2026 because he has the Supergirl movie coming out. Now, he's not directing or writing that, but that's very much in his wheelhouse. That's a part of the super family saga that he wants to tell. But then he has another creative team altogether working on Clayface, which is a very different film from both budget and tone. So I'm wondering if Warner Brothers is waiting for 2027 to really figure out what exactly they want to give James Gunn moving forward. He's obviously going to be the studio head for as long as they're doing and going forward with this interpretation of the DC characters, but are they going to simply constrict him to Superman and the Super Family and leave Batman to Matt Reeves? Because we got another piece of information here. Okay, the director Andy Muschietti rumored off of DCU's a Batman film, The Brave and the Bold, despite James Gunn's claims. I'm wondering if they're waiting for the returns and the reception of 2027's Batman and Superman. Well, actually, we got a reprisal of Batman v Superman, and they want to see how both films ultimately stack up. Or is James waiting? I would imagine he's probably trying to keep this in his back pocket because he's been insinuating heavily that he is one of the writers on this project and waiting for a lull in the news cycle to wheel out, hey, take a look, this is our new Batman in the DCU, in order to try to snuff out Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, and that interpretation of Bruce Wayne. Perhaps they're doing that, but I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be Warner Brothers just saying, yeah, James, just hold off on Brave and the Bold for a second. I want to see what Matt Reeves is doing, because you guys could work together, right? But the DCU's long gestating Batman the Brave and the Bold project is once again mired in uncertainty. Rumors are swirling that Andy Muschietti, director of the disastrous Flash, may no longer be steering the first Batman outing in James Gunn's rebooted universe. Yet Gunn himself has insisted Muschietti is still attached, and he also insisted a lot of shit regarding the DCU. But the Brave and the Bold is slated to introduce DCU's Batman and Damian Wayne, yes, the fifth Robin, drawing inspiration from Grant Morrison's acclaimed run. Muschietti was tapped to direct the new Batman back in 2023 alongside producer Barbara Muschietti. But progress has been anything but clear. Recently, Muschietti admitted in interviews that he hasn't spoken with James Gunn in over a year, and that the project has been postponed a bit to make room for other films. I wonder which ones. Gunn, however, quickly countered that no such delays exist, even though it doesn't have a clear timeline, and reaffirmed that Muschietti remains attached. And the conflicting statements have only fueled speculation. To make matters worse, Muschietti is stacking his calendars with other projects, including a live-action Attack on Titan adaptation, fuck off, and a sci-fi thriller, Drift, that hardly looks like a director laser-focused on Gotham City. Exactly, because James, we've seen what you've done with Superman, and has led a lot of people to a lot of stupid conclusions that Superman's a boring character, or that he can't properly be adapted to the big screen. It's like, no, the people that have been given the opportunity are fucking incompetent idiots. And so if James Gunn gets another swing at another character, do you think that that's going to end up working out well for anybody? So the future of DC, you thought you would have get a clearer picture after Superman came out, but because it was such a middling performer, still lost money after all. But it wasn't a colossal enough bomb to be obvious to audiences, so they need to be shrewd on how they want to move forward. Do they see an upward trajectory with this franchise, or is it time to look to greener pastures, or perhaps it is time to diversify this franchise probably more than you promised James when he came over from Marvel? We are very likely going to have to wait a little while longer, because I would imagine, I still think that James is going to get his Brave and the Bold project, but ultimately, the future of Batman, the future of DC, the future of James Gunn's hands-on involvement with the characters, with the writing, with the directing, I think that's all going to be decided in 2027. And if I was a betting man at this point in time, I would say Matt Reeves probably isn't done with Batman, not for a while. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.